have to forgive people. You know, forgive them for yourself. Not for them. Hey y'all, it's your girl, the Evelyn Chanel, and I am back with the fourth video in this series. In this video, is me talking about my granddad, my mom's dad, and this one gonna get emotional for real because, hey, look, so bear with me, you guys. Bear with me. All right. So anyway, let's get into the story.
Flawed, beautiful creatures. We're all flawed, beautiful people. We're all flawed, beautiful creatures.
Like I said, this story is about my grandfather or my granddaddy. No, that was my granddaddy. That's what I call him, granddaddy. Just like that, all my life, granddaddy. And so, my granddaddy, like if you've seen the Get to Know Me video, then you know that my granddad was one of my role models. And if you watch the video about my daddy, then you know, I feel like that was the last thing that I had. Like, when I feel like everybody else had left me, he was still here. So, yeah, my granddaddy has been around all my life. My granddaddy was in Columbus all my life. Well, all his life. Well, not all his life, but all my life before I moved to Oxford is what I'm trying to say. He was there. Well, not even until I moved to Oxford, but up until my 9th grade year, the ending half of my 9th grade year. And he was just a really important man to me. I feel like at times I might even taken him for granted because I didn't, I don't know, just being young, you focus on other stuff. And I cherish the moments that we had, and I reflect over them now. My granddaddy's birthday is January the 12th, and today is the 7th. Today is the 7th. And so his birthday is coming up. And around this time, a lot of times I get emotional. The family gets emotional. Sometimes we just feel really heavy. Like I can feel it because I live with my sister. And so sometimes we just feel really like I said, really heavy, and sometimes we forget. You know, you don't realize why until you like, oh, today is my granddaddy's birthday. In May it'll make, let's see, it'll make almost 8 years. It'll be almost 8 years since he was gone, or since he's been gone. I think well, anyway. In May it'll be about 7 years if I'm not mistaken since he's been gone. And so anyway, like I said, my granddaddy has been around. Well, he had been around all my life. He was always there. I would come home from school and my granddaddy would be on the couch. And he'd be watching CNN and Judge Judy, I think it is. And then at night he would watch baseball. His favorite team was the Braves. I recently got a tattoo in memory of him, and I'll post that tattoo or whatever like that. And don't be talking about my fat arm, okay? I know it's fat. Mind your business. I'ma tone it up and I'm be looking snatched. So anyway, but yeah. And so his favorite team was the Braves. And so during baseball season, that's what we would watch during dinner time. And when we weren't watching the Braves, we'd be watching CNN, you know, and just whatever granddaddy watched, whatever granddaddy wanted to watch, that's what we watched. And so yeah, like I said, I would come home and he'd be on the couch there, and hey granddaddy, and he'd say hey, you know, and That was just my granddaddy. I got so used to coming home to him every day after school. That was kind of one of the highlights of my day, just to be able to see my granddad on the couch, as if he was waiting for me, you know. But yeah, so my granddaddy, he was a deacon at church. He was really close to the pastor. During his time at Southside, I think he had always been close to the pastor because the pastor that I remember when I was little and well up in age was Pastor Reverend McFarland or Pastor McFarland. And he loved my granddad, and my granddad loved him. And the pastor before him was Reverend Lacey. And Reverend Lacey and my granddaddy were best friends. Yeah, so my dad had always been close to the. I mean, my granddad had always been close to the pastors at Southside, and then after that, after Pastor McFarland, it was Pastor Evans, who is still there today. And like I said, by that time, I guess my granddaddy had earned his stripes in being faithful, and so of course he was one of the head deacons. If you go to the church now, they know who my granddaddy is. Because he was a well-respected man. And I'm not saying he was a perfect man, but he was a perfect granddad in my eyes. I had never seen him do no wrong. He had always been a father figure to me. He always wanted what was best for me. I remember just little small talks that we would have. My granddad had this routine. And so by the time he actually got up, I would be gone to school. But my grandma would get up, make breakfast. On them days I was sick or on the weekend. And this is when I got to, see this. My grandma, she would get up, make breakfast. For my granddaddy, fix his plate. Granddaddy would get up. Took him a while to get up, wash his face, brush his teeth. Get up, say the grace, and we eat. Then granddaddy would study his Bible. I think after that he would study well until noon. So it'd be like maybe from around 10:30, 11 o'clock, something like that. Then until maybe 12:30 or so, he would read his Bible, study his word. Then granddaddy would turn on, Wheel of Fortune. I don't know if y'all know what it is, but granddad would turn on Wheel of Fortune, and all them other little game shows, and he would watch them until it was time for him to watch Judge Judy. And then after he watched Judge Judy, he'll flip back and forth between Judge Judy and CNN, and by that time, that's the time that I'll be walking in. And then, like I said, in the evening time, he watched sports, and so this is what he would do. And then at night, granddaddy would get up, and he would do his little exercise, and he had these dumbbells, and I think they had to be like maybe 5-10 pounds, and granddaddy, he would bend over. My granddad could touch his toes, baby. Could bend all the way over and touch his toes like he was just that limber until he got sick, honestly. And so granddaddy would walk back and forth through the house. He'd take his little laps through the house, and he'd do his little dumbbells or whatever like that. And then granddaddy would stretch, bend over, stretch, and touch his toes and come back up. And bend over, stretch, and touch his toes and come back up. And then granddaddy would prepare himself for bed. And that's what granddaddy did every day. So, I remember I'd be up watching, I think my grandma used to watch Criminal Minds or something like that. Me waiting on my mom to get out so she could come get me. I'd be up there watching it. And sometimes, because if I didn't sat there and watch granddaddy exercise 9 times out of 10, either my mama getting out real late or I'm spending the night. And so, yeah, I'd be in the front eating, because my grandma would have this routine, so they both would, where they eat ice cream, and then he'll do his little workout or whatever like that. And so I'd be eating ice cream with my grandma as he's doing it, watching not even Criminal Minds, it's CSI. Yeah, anyway, so like those are the memories and the conversations that we had. And I remember when I got ready to be baptized. It was a Wednesday night, and we were at Bible study. And I looked at my granddaddy, and I said, "Granddaddy, no, not even before then." I said, "Grand." I was asking my granddaddy about what baptism meant, and all that stuff. I was telling him that I wanted to be baptized, and so my granddaddy sat down and he had a conversation with me. And he pulled out his Bible, and he showed me the Bible verses, and he explained to me what it was. And that Wednesday, I got up because I wanted to be baptized, and so my granddaddy was a help when it came to leading me to Christ. And giving my life over to God. And I want to say I was like 13 then. So, yeah. And, like I said, I just remember him sitting down, just having that sit down conversation with me and telling me that, explain to me what it was and how important it was for him to explain that to me. Yeah. And so, as I got older, my granddaddy was really like my protector in ways that I didn't realize. He would protect me from my grandma. He would protect me in his prayers, and I wouldn't even know it. And I still feel like he's a guardian angel for me now. Yeah. Like I said, I would come home every day from school and I would see this man, and it would be one of the highlights of my life. Just to see, hey, granddaddy. Hey, granddaddy. Every day, hey, granddaddy. And so I remember my first year of high school, I'm a freshman or whatever like that. I ain't got to wear uniforms no more. So that's what you think. I ain't got to wear uniforms no more. I'm getting on up there now. So my freshman year, I go through my whole freshman year. And around November, my granddaddy gets sick. And this ain't the first time granddaddy got sick. Granddaddy got sick before. Granddaddy had, I believe, 2 lungs collapse. Granddaddy had been through some stuff. Granddaddy was a veteran. So granddaddy had been through some stuff, but this particular time it was different. It took granddaddy down through there, and it seemed like it took him so fast. One day I was looking up, walking in the door, seeing my granddad on the couch, and I went from seeing my granddad on the couch to having to go see my granddaddy every day in the hospital bed. And then I went from going to see him in the hospital bed at the hospital to them bringing the bed home from, for hospice or whatever like that, and having to go in the back and talk to him and just seeing how weak he was. And just remembering how I just couldn't walk in no more and just be like, hey, granddaddy. I tried. Hey, granddaddy. Granddaddy didn't have much strength to say it back. And so from November until May, he was sick. And he had barely made it to May. Really. And so I don't even think he made it to May. It might have been the end of April, honestly. But they brought him home for hospice. And I remember, honestly, I feel like he stayed alive just long enough for my brother and my sister, who lived the furthest away, to get home to see him alive. And I remember I was getting ready for the state test, and I had taken 3, and I was on my last one. And I remember it was storming that morning, and my mom got a call, and My stepdad at the time was there. And I was like, of course I woke up because I really don't like storms. I really do not like storms. They make me nervous. And so it woke me up, and she had gotten a call, and she just got up and left. And my stepdad at the time, he tried to comfort me. He was like, everything's okay. She's just going to check on your granddaddy. He okay. But I knew that he wasn't okay. And so, like I said, I had a test that day. So I tried to go back to sleep and prepare myself for that test. But the whole day I knew something was off. And so when I got ready to go home, I want to say they were maybe picking up the bed or something. But I got home, and what it was the driveway was clear, and that doesn't really happen. For the driveway to be clear, like my grandmother's car wasn't even under the carport, so I knew something had happened. And I got to the house, and he wasn't there. He had actually passed away that morning. By the time the storm had ended, he was gone. And I remember being younger, and not just with him before. When my family would tell me one of my family members would pass, I wouldn't cry right away. I wouldn't break down right away. I would take it. Take it in, take all my thoughts in, and process the fact that they were actually gone. I guess is what I was doing. And then I would cry, and so that's what happened. I actually don't even think I cried that day. I didn't cry for a minute, actually. I didn't cry until we were at the repast. Well, not even the repast. We were visiting the funeral home, the family and friends. And I actually seen him in the casket. And it was then when I realized he was actually gone. He was really gone. There was no more getting off the bus and walking in the door and saying, "Hey, granddaddy." There was no more Bible talk. So, "Hey, granddaddy, what does this mean?" Granddaddy wasn't going to get to see me graduate. Granddaddy didn't even make it to the end of my 9th grade year. Granddaddy wasn't going to be there to help me when I had boy troubles. Granddaddy wasn't going to be there to comfort me. Granddaddy wasn't going to be there to bring me to school, to see me off. Granddaddy was gone. He was really gone. And I remember just crying. And I remember his actual funeral day. Because in my home church, we have little skylights. And I remember I just kept asking. I was like, "Granddaddy, just please send me some sunshine. Just please send me some sunshine." I don't even really remember the funeral. But before we got ready to walk out, I just remember this beam of sunshine just shining down on me. I was just like, "Thank you." And it was crazy. Because like I said, when Granddaddy passed away, my mom got the call. it was storming. And I remember my mama telling me that when he passed away, the storm passed. And it was just, my granddad, he was such a powerful man. And I hate that I felt like I didn't get to see him. In all his power. I hate that I didn't get to have the conversations and the understanding that I do now with him. But Psalms 121:1 ended up becoming one of my favorite verses. I will look to the hills, for which cometh my help, and my help coming from the Lord. And it's kind of funny because that's what my grandma used to call my granddaddy. She would call him Hills. Hills, it's time to eat. Hills, it's time to go to bed. Hills, it's time to get up. And so that was my verse. I would look to the hills because I knew that's what my granddaddy was. So I looked to the hills from which cometh my help. And I knew that on the other side of the hill was the Lord. Or my hill was the Lord. So, yeah. Still, like, recently, the other day, actually, I got an actual dream. And I get these lucid dreams from time to time about him. And he looks so real. And it's him as in present day, just being a part of life. But this particular dream, it was him and it was my uncle who passed away last year. They were both in the dream, and I remember seeing my granddad, and my granddad was like, "You got hate in your heart for two people. Look to the heavens." And that was all he said. And I was like, huh? And then I woke up.